This latest thing in Libya is expected to move prices up, especially that the market doesn't know how long this is going to take.
If reports are correct that at least in one oil well, striking workers in Nafura have gone on strike and stopped production there, how significant a development would that be to the country's ability to export?
Well, I think it's very significant. We have to remember that most of the oil fields and oil installations and oil terminals are all in the eastern region, close to the Benghazi, where the revolution is at its highest. And so, therefore, it is likely that they have already stopped shipments of oil and oil products there. Especially that there has been an open threat to do so since yesterday.
Do other producers at this point have the capacity to make up for any shortfall from Libyan output?
Yes, Libya is exporting about 1.25 million barrels a day. And for a short while, this will not so much affect consumers, because everybody is certain that they have a minimum of stocks to last them for some time. And the stocks are already high in the consuming countries. So I do not expect that prices will go up much further unless the problem, is protracted for a longer time to come.
Nevertheless, I mean, it is already sending prices up a bit. What does that mean for the world economy, for ability or efforts to try and control inflation fears that were already on the edge in many countries?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we have seen prices much higher than that, and we didn't see much movement on the inflation side. But definitely, if oil prices can go up so much more than the current level, then of course they will have further implications on the economy and on inflation.
All right, thanks so much for your thoughts on the impact of situation in Libya on oil prices.
Thank you.
Well, in Mexico, more than 50 people have been killed in one border city since Thursday. Ciudad Juarez is just across the border from Texas and is a battleground for drug cartels and security forces. Mexico's president plans to send reinforcements to the area. Meanwhile, violence continues in other parts of Mexico. A series of attacks on taxis in the western resort city of Acapulco has left 12 people dead. Police say drivers and passengers are among the victims. Hundreds of people have packed the Capitol building in the U.S. state of Wisconsin in an ongoing budget standoff. Wisconsin's governor wants union members to contribute more to ease the state's money troubles. But protesters are upset that he wants to eliminate collective bargaining rights. John Terrett reports now from Wisconsin's state capital, Madison.
Late Sunday evening, and several hundred people are protesting Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker's plans to cut state workers' benefits, particularly health care and pensions, and to end collective bargaining. Union busting, they call it.
He's trying to take away the one thing that the people have to come together and fight against the corporations and the government if they are going against what we want. I mean, we have nothing else but our unions often.
Look at who is here. This is a cross-section of the entire nation. This is my city, this is my home city, this is my home state, and these are every different color of people, every different religion.
The battle lines have been drawn in Wisconsin, a pioneer in recognizing public employees' rights to bargain through their unions. But now Governor Scott Walker and his fellow Republicans in control of the legislature intend to revoke that right, along with cutting some benefits. Giving up collective bargaining, say the workers, is a concession they will not make. The unions see another threat to their survival. Walker's plan to force workers to vote every year on the union's power to collect dues.
And they can continue to voluntarily have those union dues that write the check out, give it to that union to make their case, but they shouldn't be forced to be a part of this if that's not what they want to do.
The Wisconsin showdown is the fiercest battle in a nationwide power struggle, as other recently elected Republican governors also confront their public sector workers. In Ohio, where the governor has even antagonized police and firefighter unions, which had backed his election, he wants to take away their collective bargaining rights too. And in New Jersey, Republican Chris Christie and public school teachers are at each other's throats over pensions and health care benefits. But the unions face a challenge in the court of public opinion too. Amid America's economic reverses, the unions' favorability ratings are at an historic low, with one recent poll showing them less popular than corporations. Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker will be back on nationwide TV on Monday to explain why he's trying to cut the salaries and benefits of state workers and end their collective bargaining rights. There will be a show of support for him outside the state capitol. But these people occupying the Capitol building late on Sunday evening will be back with reinforcements on Monday, determined that the governor knows they don't want him to succeed. John Terrett, AlJazeera, Madison, Wisconsin.
Now it's time for more sports news. Let's find out what's going on in the world of cricket and other places. Here's Farah.
Thank you, Sammy. Australia's defence of their Cricket World Cup crown is underway in India. Ricky Ponting's side are aiming for a fourth straight title and have won their last 23 matches in the competition. They may not be the favourites to win this year's event, but they shouldn't have any problems in their opening game against Zimbabwe. Andy Richardson is in Ahmedabad.
We're here in Ahmedabad for Australia's first match of their World Cup campaign. They're beginning their title defence here against Zimbabwe. Rather a different atmosphere in this stadium than the one we've just experienced in Dakar for the opening match of the tournament between India and Bangladesh. There's more action out on the streets here at the moment, and already organisers looking at ways of maintaining the crowd numbers for certain matches, thinking of giving away tickets to school children, reducing ticket prices. This particularly evident after a really poor crowd for the New Zealand-Kenya game on Sunday, and plenty of empty seats again here today. As for Australia, they're going into this match in a slightly weird position. For once, they're not the favourites to win the World Cup. That's despite the fact they're still the #1 ranked ODI side in the world. They have the best win-loss ratio of any team in the world over the last couple of years, and they do still have Ricky Ponting as captain. He's making a record 40th World Cup appearance in this game. As for Zimbabwe, they face a huge task. They've not beaten Australia in an ODI since way back at the World Cup in 1983.
Now that match has got underway with the Australians choosing to bat after winning the toss. Shane Watson has hit a half-century. The world champions are currently 139 for 1. Meanwhile, on Sunday, there were wins for New Zealand and co-host Sri Lanka in Group A. The Sri Lankans easily won their opening match against Canada. Former captain Mahela Jayawardene was the star as they won by 210 runs. Guy McCree reports.
After winning the toss, Sri Lanka's batsmen seemed keen to make an early statement on home soil. Mahela Jayawardene looked in beautiful touch on what was a slow pitch and outfield in Habantota. The former captain able to adjust his normal game and put the Canadian attack to the sword. Jayawardene put on 179 for the third wicket, with current skipper Kumar Sangakkara. He made 92, just short of what would have been his maiden World Cup century. Jayawardene wasn't to be denied his